Hi, I'm Kevin McSpadden, and I am the author of Average Christians Don't Exist, Encouragement for Believers. So what you see in this book is, first off, you see some stories, and you might even think of these as testimonies of things that God has done in my life. And I think it's important that people read these testimonies because when they read them, they're not reading somebody who has a PhD in theology or somebody who is a world-famous missionary. I teach English for a living. And I want them to know that it doesn't matter what you do or what your credentials are, that God will still do amazing things if you just make yourself available. One of the stories is about how he called me to go to a place called the Dream Center in Los Angeles. Major stretch for me. But through that experience, he really emphasized to me how much he can accomplish when you just make yourself available. And then it moves on into some revelation that I feel like I've received over the years, into a part that just emphasizes the reality of the spiritual war that we're born into, and then finally ends on a call for people to just open your heart, just step out, just let God be God, and let Him be awesome through you. The reason why I wrote the book has to do with the need for encouragement within the body of Christ. When I was writing this book, the person that I had in mind was those ones who have given their lives to Jesus. They're doing the best they know how, but they're looking around at everybody else thinking, I don't do as much as those people, or what's special about me and my walk. And so through my stories and the revelation that God has given me, I want people to come to understand that God has a destiny and a purpose for them that's bigger than they've imagined. And I want them to be willing, as they're reading and as they think and process and pray, that maybe they'll become a little more willing to just let God be God and do amazing things through what they might consider normal everyday lives, but that He looks at and says, this is my masterpiece. This is something that was my idea and I like it. Releasing revelation to me is just about what has God said to you, what has He shown you about who He is. I think He communicates to us all the time in things that we could overlook if we don't have our eyes open. And so it's about hearing His heart. It's about paying attention. Sometimes it can even be the memories of the things that God has done through your life. But communicating that in a way that it becomes encouragement to the next person who can lay a hold of that, becomes food for them and builds them up too. I know that revelation is for our own selves, obviously, but I also think it's important for people to get to hear from one another. Well, how has God shown Himself to you? What has He said to you that maybe isn't in a book out there somewhere, but this is your personal life and this is your personal walk with Him? Because I love reading and I love writing, obviously, but I think conversations and just getting to hear somebody's heart and their journey, sometimes that's even more powerful to us than reading what some pastor somewhere wrote. And I'm not against pastors at all, but sometimes it's nice to hear from just your average people about what the Lord has done through their lives. And that just becomes encouragement because it's, well, thank goodness I don't have to have credentials to let God do great things in me. I was not raised in a Christian home, but I was raised by two incredible people who taught me right from wrong and have supported me through the years. After I encountered Jesus, I've learned to love His Word, learned to love who He is, and where I'm walking now is just in a place where I do recognize that I would not have anything apart from His goodness and His mercy to me. I love the mercy of the Lord.